So I want to talk to you about ownership, okay? This is taking ownership in not just your business. I know I talk to a lot of business owners, but this is ownership in everything you do and why and how it's so important. So the reason it's so important is because the people around you are watching what you're doing, right? And the followers that we have are looking for trust, compassion, stability, and hope. That's a whole separate training. But when you are not taking ownership of the things that you have your hand in, then it really starts to break people's trust. Because what is the worst thing that you've maybe ever experienced in your business world or in volunteering world or the team setting or whatever, is when somebody throws you under the bus, right? You're like, ugh, and it just really sets you off and can just break that trust forever. But flip it around and think back to a manager or a boss or a mentor or just someone you respect. And when they've taken ownership of something that actually maybe was your fault, right? Like I've had that happen where I knew I messed up somewhere, and the person that was my leader or my mentor or whoever was kind of like responsible for the overall end goal took ownership and took responsibility for it. So what did that make me do? I wanted to work even harder for them. I became even more loyal to them. I built even more trust with them because I'm like, man, it's just that respect level went up to a whole nother level because of them taking ownership in it. And really, the thing I love about at least business owners doing this is there are so many things that a lot of times feel out of our control, but when you take full ownership, full ownership, and there's a book called Extreme Ownership that's excellent. When you take full ownership of everything, literally everything, even those situations where you're like, I actually can't find my fault in this, take ownership of it, because it changes your brain to think in a whole different way of, okay, well, what could I have done better? Could I have trained better? Could I have communicated better? Could I have given more resources? Like, what are the things that I can take ownership of in this so that it puts it back in my control and I can do better in the future and change more in the future instead of depending on all these outside things, all these outside circumstances, right? How can I bring it on back to me and really take full ownership and responsibility for every piece of what I have in my hand in and every piece I'm responsible for. Now, responsibility is one of my top strengths. This is a little bit easier for me to do, but I also don't like being wrong. So it balances out a little bit, but I'm telling you, the people that I have seen in my life take full ownership of everything that they've had a part of, especially if I did have a part in it, I have had so much more respect for, so much more loyalty. My drive to do better for them and for myself has always grown from that as well. So wanted you to keep that in mind. Hope that helps, and we'll talk to y'all soon.